Alright, so you're either thinking about dropping around $400 on this Oppo Reno 12 5G, or maybe you've already got one in your hands. And as a casual gamer, you're probably thinking about how it handles gaming, right? Well friends, let me tell you, the gaming performance of this smartphone is a bit of a mixed bag. I've tested about 5 heavy games, and while some run smoothly, others, well, you will see what happens in this full gaming review of this Oppo Reno 12 5G. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because 97% of you watching haven't subscribed to my channel yet. And if you do, it will mean the world to me. So friends, stick around till the end of the review to see the full gaming performance for yourself. And let's kick off things with the Call of Duty Warzone. Okay, so running Call of Duty Warzone on this smartphone, it's pretty heavy. Okay, so running Call of Duty Warzone on this smartphone, it's pretty heavy. I mean, I have played it for hours and honestly, the performance was a bit all over the place. In most areas, it was giving me around 29 to 35 FPS. But in some parts of the game, it did get a little better, hitting 55 to 60 FPS. So, it really depends on whether you are at in the game. But here's the thing, Call of Duty Warzone just doesn't run that well on this smartphone. It's a pretty demanding game, and even though this smartphone handles other games decently, it struggled to keep up with the Warzone. Now, I recently reviewed the Vivo V40 5G, and that phone actually runs Warzone surprisingly well. It's got the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, which is much more powerful chipset than this, the MediaTek Dimensity 7300E. So that definitely makes a difference. But don't worry, most other games perform pretty well on this smartphone. It's just Warzone that suffers here. I even enabled performance mode and pro mode in the gaming settings, but the game still lags and stutters a lot. Even though the game looks amazing on this large, vibrant display, you can't fully enjoy it because of all the lag. And one thing I've noticed while playing, this phone heats up a bit. And honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my hands around how they labeled this chipset, the MediaTek Dimensity 7300E, with the E supposed to be stands for efficiency. Because let me tell you, it's not efficient here. The battery drains fast when you're playing the heavy games like this one. So yeah, the Call of Duty Warzone is just too much for this smartphone to handle. Now let's move on to another game. The game that I have played so many times, the Call of Duty Mobile. So friends, I had a blast playing Call of Duty Mobile on this smartphone. It even gives you an option to play at 90 frames per second. And let me tell you, when you set it to that, the game feels buttery smooth. Even though I was playing on low settings with 90 FPS, the graphics looked stunning. I mean seriously, it's impressive as you can see. The FPS stays between 82 to 90 FPS, which is pretty solid for the smartphone, and because I was screen recording this game. Now, you can definitely bump up the settings to very high and get some killer graphics, but I personally prefer the more FPS over quality. So I stuck with low settings and ultra FPS. Even then, the graphics looks fantastic. I did screen record the gameplay because it's not that heavy as the Call of Duty Warzone. And in this game, the Oppo Reno 12 5G really shines. So, if you are someone who just want to enjoy this game with good graphics and smooth performance, then yeah, this smartphone is a solid choice for you. It's also really efficient in this game. I mean, I played this game for hours, and the battery life was just amazing. Plus, the heat management was on point. Sure, the smartphone does heats up a bit if you are screen recording at high bitrate in full HD plus resolution, but after 90 minutes of gaming, it's still very manageable. But let's not forget the Battle Royale mode. Wow, I spent hours on that, and the gameplay was just amazingly smooth. The graphics looks amazing, the grass, the textures, the buildings, everything is crisp and clean. At least, that's how it looks to me. So, if you're into Battle Royale games, trust me bro, this smartphone is definitely up your alley.
Engaging the enemy. Engage.
Enemy down.
Enemy down.
Alright, let's dive into the most demanding game in Asia, the PUBG Mobile.
So, you can play PUBG Mobile on smooth graphics with max FPS, or you can go all out with HDR and ultra settings. But as I always say, I prefer FPS over quality, so I went with smooth graphics and maxed out FPS. And let me tell you, the gameplay was like butter, smooth butter. Not the kind that sticks to the pan. Even when screen recording turned on, the game was still running like a champ, as you can see. The FPS stays solid around 55 to 60 frames per second, and the display, well, it's basically begging you to look at it. PUBG Mobile fans, the phone is your friend. It handles this iconic game like a pro. Smooth graphics with maxed out FPS makes every shot and movement feels sharp, crisp and on point. And the gyroscope, well, it's like your personal aim assistant. If you set it to high, you're practically a sniper in TDM. Now let's talk the Battle Royale. Here's where things get interesting. When you drop into those heavy, hot areas, the FPS takes a dive. It drops between 48 to 60 FPS, sometimes even lower. And I'm like, is this a game or a slideshow? But hey, the touch response is still fluid, and the overall experience is still fun. So no major complaints. I knocked out few players, and let's say it was satisfying, like eating fries after a long day. The phone's amazing display, killer speakers, and gaming options made it a blast to play, even with the frame drops. But when you hit that heavy areas at the final time, things get a little shaky. The Reno 12 5G can't quite hit that 60 FPS sweet spot. And let me tell you, I've reviewed a lot of phones recently. Some were awesome for their price, but this one, it's more of an all-rounder than a gaming beast. The Vivo V40 5G, which is priced similarly, run these games a lot smoother and with fewer frame drops. Meanwhile, the Reno 12 5G starts lagging around 48 FPS, and you might as well be playing a slideshow at this point. Plus, after about an hour of playing, the phone heats up like it's trying to roast marshmallows. So, if you are the type of gamer who's looking for that competitive edge, this smartphone might not be the one for you. But hey, if you are into more casual gaming and you don't mind that occasional frame drops, then it could still be a fun ride.
Now let's talk about the most downloaded game on the Play Store, the FreeFire Max. Spoiler, it's a whole different story.
Now, this game is known for its vibrant visuals and fast-paced gameplay. And let me tell you, it runs flawlessly on this Oppo Reno 12 5G. I cranked the settings up to max, and the game truly comes alive. Textures are sharp, environments are detailed, and character animations are as smooth as butter. Seriously, the graphics are just out of this world. Sure, I saw some few frame drops here and there, but hey, we are talking about the max settings here. If I dial the settings back to standard with high FPS, the game runs like a dream. Now, let's be honest, this isn't exactly a shocker. FreeFire Max isn't that heaviest game out there. In fact, even smartphones from 2019 can run this thing just fine. So yeah, it runs great on this phone, and honestly, I had a blast playing it. It didn't lag once. So, if you are someone who spends a lot of time on this game, trust me, you are going to love gaming on this smartphone. And when it comes to heat management, I've got to say, this phone surprised me. Even after hours of gameplay of the FreeFire Max, it didn't run into any heating issues. That's right, no overheating, no sweaty pumps. Well, except for mine, but that's just me getting into the game.
Now, let's move on to my favorite game, the Asphalt 9.
Now, playing Asphalt 9 on the smartphone is honestly a dream for many smartphone gamers. I mean, this phone can handle the game flawlessly on performance settings. But if you go ahead and crank the settings to heavy, yeah, you will see some frame drops. But here's the thing, if you're not screen recording and you're just playing it on higher graphics, you won't notice any heavy FPS frame drops. That's because I am recording this game at high bitrate at full HD plus resolution at 60 frames per second. So it's a bit more demanding on this smartphone. So if you are a fan of racing games, you are going to love playing Asphalt 9 on this smartphone. Trust me on this. The vibrant, fast and brighter display makes the whole experience feel next level. I spend hours playing this game, as I usually do with any phone I review. And let me tell you, the heat management, efficiency and the overall gameplay are impressive. But here's the catch. While the phone does a great job with Asphalt 9, it doesn't quite make it the best gaming smartphone out there. You see, even smartphones from 2019 can run this game with amazing graphics at 60 FPS logged.
And that, my friends, brings me to my final verdict. So this Oppo Reno 12 5G is an average mid-range gaming smartphone. For casual gamers, it's a solid option. But if you are someone who's looking for a competitive gaming performance, well buddy, this one's not for you. Yeah, it can handle games, but the FPS isn't exactly great. So if you're after the best gaming smartphone, I'd recommend checking out other options in the market. And if you are thinking about getting the smartphone just for gaming, I wouldn't recommend it at this price point. There are plenty of better gaming smartphones out there for the same price range. So yeah friends, that's all for this review. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to then miss a review video like this one. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comments section. I will love to answer them. So my name is Hamza, this is Tech, and see you in the next video. If you want to watch the full gaming capabilities of the iPhone 11 in 2024, then that video is right here. And if you want to watch the full gaming capabilities of the iPhone 13 in 2024, then click the video right here. Thank you for watching.